Hi and welcome back to Two Guys One Server. This is Mark and this is the long-awaited review of Orcs Must Die. Orcs Must Die is a title available on Steam for $15. It's just came out with some DLC for $2 extra. We at Two Guys One Server pre-ordered this game and got ourselves a nice little skin. Doesn't do anything, purely cosmetic, so that's a good thing. Orcs Must Die is a tower defense slash just weird. I can't really explain the genre. You should check out our gameplay videos. It's really fun to play. Not sure if it's so much fun to watch, but check them out. This game is incredibly fun, and it's actually fairly unique. In fact, I'd be able to say that its art style and just the way it plays are fairly unique. I'm not sure if my opinion has changed on this factor ever since I've seen Dungeon Defenders, which apparently was out for iOS before PC. So I'm not sure if it's a 100% unique idea. However, it's not exactly a first-person shooter. All good points about this game is that it has a brilliant sense of humor. You'll find yourself listening to your main character as he plays through the levels and chuckling at some of the things he says. He's quite a funny guy. He's not likable, but he's pretty funny to laugh at. I can tell you that for a couple of the cutscenes and stuff, I chuckled. Definitely. So the way that Orcs Must Die works is that you get a phase to begin with where you can set up things that they call traps. So you spend money on these traps, and they do things like fling the orcs, which are the enemies, and incinerate them and blah blah blah. There's a multitude of traps. You should really check them out for yourself. And all these seem to be fairly unique. Well, there were a couple that really stood out, but none that were really as, I guess you could say, different, unique. For a game that was very unique, the trap seemed pretty standard. For instance, you got your spiky trap from the floor, which spikes from the floor. It's my phone, professional. Spiky trap from the wall, just pendulum thing hits. Like, it wasn't... Until the DLC, which I've just seen recently, I wasn't really 100% sure about where they were trying to go with the traps, considering how unique a game it is. Now I've seen the DLC, you can definitely see the difference between the traps and the weapons that you get originally and the ones that they're adding in later on in the game. They seem a lot more fun, almost as if they're taking the crap out of themselves. Now for the bad sides of Orcs Must Die, I have to say... a lot of people are saying there aren't many. I would kind of disagree. For a $15 game, it's very short. And I mean, that sounds a little bit cheap of me. But for a Steam $15 game, like I can buy Amnesia: The Dark Descent for $4. So if you're going to charge something, a game for that much on Steam, especially an independent title like this one, you want to expect like 4 times the amount of content of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and I wasn't really feeling it. Maybe in future updates they'll include a co-op mode. If so, I think my view on this game would be completely different. I think maybe the addition of a co-op mode, maybe a few more levels. There are about 20 levels, I think, 30. I don't know. Maybe some more traps. They tend to throw traps at you fairly steadily, so maybe if they added a few more levels in and just bridged the gap between, like, made the gap between traps a little bit longer, I don't know, it just felt very cramped for such a great concept. Storyline, I mean, I guess I just made a reference to Amnesia: The Dark Descent because I'm thinking of buying it. And that's a very story-packed game, and I guess you can't really compare the two, because the only plot that Orcs Must Die has is contained in either, like, smart-ass comments at the beginning of a level, or, like, one of the 3 or so cutscenes. Is ridiculous. And I never really felt involved in any way. I felt it was there, but... it really just wasn't that interesting to me. I've heard other people who thought, oh, blah 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 blah. It was okay. It bridged. It did what it was meant to do, but it didn't really. I mean, it wasn't entertaining. It didn't add anything to the game. It could have just been, hey, I'm protecting the Rift Yo from the bad guys, brother from another mother, and I would have been feeling exactly the same point, exactly the same way at the end of the game, like I am, which is kind of disappointing. Because I mean, there's got to be some writers on that team, or maybe there isn't. Maybe that's why the story is so shocking. Food for thought. For $15, I compare that to a 1.5 foot long subs in usefulness to me, and I think my Steam clock clocked up to about 30 hours on this game. So that's a pretty good game, to be honest. It's pretty good game time. I was complaining a little bit about longevity before, but for a 30-hour game. Having said that, I have played through most of the levels twice because I needed to record them. But it's okay. I wouldn't thoroughly recommend it. However, I did have fun with this title. I mean, I'm not going to rate this. Here goes for all the Two Guys One Server reviews. We aren't going to rate any games 1 through 10 because I think that's just, games are so subjective, and that's just such a stupid move to make. So I guess our opinions is what you would be here for. And so my opinion is that this is a fun game, a good game for the value. If you don't like the concept, this game is pretty much driven on its concept, and you will not find any story behind it. You will not find any complex post-ending parts. It's purely a $15 indie title that I'm not even sure if you call it an indie title. It's a $15 title that you get traps and you fling orcs into places and you stab them and you kill them, and that's all it is. But if that sounds like fun to you, and it does to me, I mean, I had a huge amount of fun with this game. I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone who likes the concept or was thinking about doing it. Because I mean, it's 1.5 foot long subs from Subway. I mean, it's in a world where you guys aren't 14-year-old students, so I mean, yeah, go for it if you want to. I would recommend it. I do not feel like I've wasted my time with this game, is what I'm getting at. So, I guess, I hope that helped. So now for the bit that you've all been waiting for, it's the end of the review. Let's give away Orcs Must Die to one lucky subscriber. And the lucky subscriber is... this person. Good job. I'm actually going to add that in post, because as of now, the credit card funding thing is all weird, and I did a vlog about it, but hopefully we'll be able to give the game to you. We'll send you an inbox, and we'll give the game to you over Steam. Sweet? Sweet. So this is Mark out. We'll see you later. That was Two Guys One Server reviewing Orcs Must Die. See ya.